I'm so happy that you guys got to enjoy the show this afternoon. How did you feel? Did you love the show?
Of course.
Me too. That's how we feel too. We love the show so much. It's such a special show. Thank you. Hey, Vicky, how you doing? Good to see you. We're so happy everybody is here today. It's a beautiful energy. This show is look at that beautiful, gorgeous girl right there with those pink, beautiful braids. This is a whole crew of gorgeous young women right here. Hi, guys. Wow, the whole row. Hi, beauties. You guys are gorgeous girls on fire. Let me just organize my notes because I want to tell you what I want to tell you in the proper way. Yeah, let's take one away. Thank you, Mama. See, mamas are the best. I love everything about Hell's Kitchen, no question. But one of the things that I love the most about Hell's Kitchen is it truly, at the core of it, is a mother-daughter love story.
Love story, yeah.
You know? And that's why we felt it was so special to be able to do something on this Mother's Day weekend, really celebrate how mothers and their children, particularly daughters, really have this beautiful love story that we share. And I remember as we were creating Hell's Kitchen, there was a lot of different parts to bring up and a lot of things to kind of figure through. And at one point, it started to become a lot about Ali and Nuck. And our director, Michael Greif, and our book writer, Chris Diaz, we were like, you know what, this is great. I mean, we love Nuck, don't get it twisted. And we love Ali and Nuck's story. But there's something more that's happening here. And as we started to mine through everything and craft everything and really craft the story to become what it now is, there was an aha moment and we said, man, what this really is a love story. Not between Ali and Nuck, although that exists within it, but between a mother and a daughter.
Yes. Exactly.
So it's really, really beautiful to be here this afternoon and to be celebrating this and to be able to talk to you and have a special moment. Hi to all my friends. You see you guys, they're having a good old time. Beautiful energy. And I think the other thing that's really special about Hell's Kitchen is the role of mentorship,
yes.
Right? Because, Miss Liza Jane is such a powerful force in Ali's universe. And so a lot of times when it comes to Mother's Day, there is this beautiful cross-section between the mothers in our lives and the mentors in our lives. And I think oftentimes those mentors can take those mother positions in our lives when we need it the most. And so mentorship has been a very special part of this show and this journey as well. In fact, maybe you didn't know, but the woman who plays piano on this stand right here is my high school teacher. Miss Aziza, and she was a huge influence, a huge mentor to me as a woman who played piano, who wrote her own songs, who really took control of this whole class of students in the middle of Hell's Kitchen and really cared and loved us so much. And so when we were trying to find the person who would be able to represent in real life on piano, Miss Liza Jane, let me tell you, it wasn't the easiest thing to find. And so, I said one day, I called my mom and I said, do you think Miss Aziza would do it? She's like, I don't know, call her. And sure enough, Miss Aziza, she ended up kind of just recently retiring, and she was like, Broadway's a whole other monster in universe. She was like, I never did this before, I don't know. But she was interested, she was intrigued, and here we are, she's doing something she never did before in her life, and she is one of the direct influences. I just saw her exit when we came in. I did. Just when we came in, she was walking out. But she was in here killing it, so it's all good.
Where's our Jen?
Oh, I think he's good. He seems all right.
Looking for my grandson.
It's okay. He looks.
Genesis!
Oh, come on, You don't have to say anything. He said hi. So Genesis is 10 years old, and he's awesome. We love Genesis. He was very excited about sitting on the stage. He was like, "Can I sit out here too?" And we were like, "Yes." It's all about Mother's Day, right?
Yes.
Exactly. So, you know, this beautiful collaboration across generations, I think, is what's so special about the show. You know, everybody can find themselves in the show. This universe, this place called Hell's Kitchen, this building called Manhattan Plaza, really did represent such a diverse group of what New York looks like. And knowing that we're in New York right now, in the same neighborhood called Hell's Kitchen, right now when you walk out the street, is such a unique thing to experience. But the way that it crosses generations is so beautiful. You know, any age, any person can come to this show and really find themselves and see their mentors, see their family relations, see how community really helps to lift us all up and keep us going. So that's really what I hope everybody takes away from this show. You know, that there is no limits, that although times can get hard, you know, it's the people around us that really bring us that energy and help us to discover who we are. And we make mistakes along the way, but we find our dreams and we find that spark that takes us to the next place. And so that's what Ali does in this piece. And we're rooting for Ali, and we're rooting for the entire community. So it's such a beautiful thing. There was a few questions that came up that are like questions that come up a lot. So I thought that we could answer some of them here for us today. The first question we're gonna toss to my mama. How are you doing today, Mama?
Oh, fabulous.
Mama's fabulous.
Fabulous.
You did just celebrate a birthday.
I did.
She's fine.
Happy birthday.
75.
We like to call it 70 fine. You know what I mean? So good. So this one is for you. The question is, what do you remember most, or what's one of the memories you have about raising me in Hell's Kitchen?
Well, we lived in Manhattan Plaza she was born there, and until she decided to, leave. So we've got, 16 years, because 16 she was like, age is just a number, Mommy. I was like, okay. But, living in Hell's Kitchen, as a child, the one thing I always remember and still sweat about is that she would run away from me and hide on the street.
Genesis didn't know that.
And I would be like, where's my child? Where? And she was quite a beautiful young lady. And I couldn't find her, and then I would find her and she'd be laughing. And I couldn't kill her. And I couldn't convince her that this was not a good thing for me. And I think she liked me looking like this. Where is she? Where is she? Where is she? So that's not exactly
that's what
the
you
best,
remember.
but that's one I never forget.
Okay, I was a runner and a hider. What can we say? A little bit of a jokester and a prankster. Look, did she actually?
She actually.
Okay, and then when I got home, it was big problems. That is so good. So?
She was making me sick to my stomach because I thought I lost her, or she was kidnapped, or she was hit by a car. Or, we lived on 43rd and 10th.
Right, it's crazy.
Come on.
That was the first place I learned how to drive a car. I remember that. And in New York, you can't drive a car till forever. In other places, you're 15 and you're getting your permit, you're 16. New York, you have to be 18 plus before they even put you behind the wheel. So I remember that the driving instructor took me out on 10th Avenue. We were on 43rd Street between 9th and 10th, and then he was like, okay, now turn on, make a right on 10th. I said, what? It was, what? And I turned on 10th but I learned quick, and I'm a great driver now, so.
She passed, she passed.
What can we say?
And she's a good driver.
Thank you.
A little fast, but she's good.
in New York.
He said his dad is better.
You heard that, Dad? Sheesh.
We'll ask his mother.
Yeah. All right. So the next question is, what's some of the lessons I learned from my mother that I still carry with me as a mother myself? I love that. I love that. You know, my mother is an amazing mother. She's so beautiful because I think she has a great balance. You know, she's encouraging, but she's also really gonna keep me in line when I need it. And I feel like I've taken that with me as well. This idea of the encouragement, the ability to really show love and give love, especially to my kids, and also to know when to hold the line. You know, there's a boundary, and there's places where it's important that you know, kids know how to hold the boundary and what the boundary is. And so that mixture between like sweetness and toughness is something that I feel like I've taken with me, and it served me well. It's very good. It's a good balance. Sometimes you feel like, oh man, did I do too much? And you're like, no, they needed it. No, they needed it. So it's definitely important. It's definitely important. I think that's, you know, but the truth is also the encouragement to follow your muse. My mother always said that she wanted me to help me find my muse. And I think that finding what you love and really being able to be encouraged to do what you love is something that a lot of times I hear young people maybe don't feel the support of. They don't feel like they can be who they really are, or they can pursue and love what they truly love. And oftentimes, us as parents, we may, because of love and care, we might discourage our kids without knowing it. So she always encouraged me, and I've also brought that encouragement forward, and I think that's a really powerful thing. So thank you.
You're welcome.
That's right. All right, so I like this one, Mama. If a mother wants to be a better mentor to their daughter, do you have some advice about how a mother can be, or how a parent can be a better mentor to their kids?
I never realized that mothers were your ultimate mentors until I got a mentorship award from some organization, and I realized, you know, most of the other awardees were actual mentors. I was a mother. So I said, oh, it's really focused the fact that mothers are the original mentors. And even though, and until she stole my line just now, I always felt that being a mother mentor was letting her find her muse. And so I had her in this class, and that class, and this class, and that class, and that class, and this class, until she got into piano, and she did want to quit. I said, no, I've paid for so many lessons, and until you get to the end of my checkbook, you're gonna play. And because her teacher thought she was so good. And I said, you know, you can take time off for the summer, you can take time off, but you can't quit this, it's too important, you'll understand it later. Yeah, thank you.
Let me just chime in there. This is a really good point. Let me chime in there for the muse and being able to be a mentor and find what you love. So many times in my life do I go back to that moment, and I'm like, man, had I given up or had I quit, how would that have changed my life completely? So to have a person in your life that can see something in you that you can't see in yourself yet, and that is clear enough to say, no, we're gonna hold this line right here, just hold tight right here. And what that gave to me, in addition to being able to actually play an instrument, which is so valuable, but it also gave me the ability to become a producer. It gave me the ability to become an arranger. It gave me the ability to write songs. It gave me the ability to be a communicator the way that I would have never been able to had she not said, why don't you take a break, and then we'll come back to it. And I'm so grateful for that, Mom, because it would have changed everything. It really gave me so much of the foundation of who I am. So thank you, my mentor.
She almost pushed me on the floor. I'm sorry. I was
Right
like,
now? Careful now. That's not how we want this to end. If you're finished, it's okay. All right, so you're just stretching.
stretching. Stretch, mommy.
Right, exactly. All right, and then the last question that I think is sweet is, you know, I would just, the question is kind of, there's two questions. What does it feel to have this multi-generational story on Broadway, and to a young mother and daughter that are sitting backstage or sitting in this audience, asking how to dream big together, what would you say? So these are kind of the two questions. I would definitely say that, you know, so much of the magic of this show is because my mother grew up in Toledo, Ohio. She's literally the quintessential New York story, in my opinion. She's, you know, you migrate, you come to New York City, you're looking for a dream, you're looking for who you are. And she found so much here in the city, and the reason she found theater, and she found acting, she found her passion as a dancer, as a creative person, friends and family, and she really rooted us here in the city. And the only reason I'm here is because you had the dream to come here. So as time passes, you actually realize why things happen, even though you don't always know in the moment, and you don't always know why things are happening the way they happen. And so to fast forward, and for Hell's Kitchen to be on Broadway at the Schubert Theater, based on a dream that she had so many years ago, to come here and follow her passion, truly, like, that floors me every time. So it really, really takes me to a whole other place, and there's a level of gratitude that I have for that cannot be properly explained. And also just the ability to, even when you don't know where you're going, you know, the universe is leading you where you're supposed to go.
Yeah.
You know, so to just try to hold on to wherever you're going. Try to hold on and keep pushing through, because you truly don't know. It might take a whole other generation before it sees fruition. But there is magic to happen based on your dreams. And so I think that's a really big part of the multi-generational side of this show that is important. You know, I think even one of the most special things with Keisha, who plays Miss Liza Jane, you know, she received her first Tony Award.
She's amazing.
Here. And when we first connected, she was like, I never really knew there was more in store for me. That to me, that took me out, you know, because you don't know what's in store for you, you know. And she's a veteran. She's been on these stages since she herself.
Decades. I don't know. She did a lot of shows.
Yeah, she did Dream Girls. She did all of it. The original Dream Girls, by the way. Yeah. So it's just really, really so beautiful. So that's something that I want you all and us all to hold on to, and what makes this so special. So if we were to talk about how to continue to dream big as a mother and a daughter, as a parent and a child, as a family, I think the most beautiful way to dream big together is just to be open-hearted to each other, and to be welcoming to what each of us have to offer in our dynamics, you know, and just to see where that takes us. You know, it might take us somewhere on the same road, it might take us down two different paths, but no matter what, you know, we can dream together whether we're walking in the same direction or walking in different directions. We can be dreaming together. So I think.
And one more thing I want to say about being in this show, or creating this show, and it's just a little stupid comment. You know, this is loosely based. It's not exactly what happened. She started at 7, blah, blah, blah. But one of my longtime girlfriends, who lived in Manhattan Plaza, still does, and I got her to see the show. She's suffering a little bit with Parkinson's and stuff. But she turned up my girlfriend, who I had her go with her, and she said at intermission, I didn't know Terry could cook. So you get really pulled right down to the basics. I still laugh at that. I said, well, this is a girl who thinks no one can cook but her. So that's all it was. I didn't know Terry could cook.
We all have those friends.
Sit, eat, right?
Yeah. Oh, so cute.
I just love to tell that story.
That one is
not very deep, but it's funny.
So before we head out, there is a beautiful Mother's Day is Everyday Hell's Kitchen giveaway that I do want to let you guys know about, spread the word. You should know that obviously tomorrow is Mother's Day and we're being so loving to our mothers and our mentors. And since that's at the heart of our show, we really wanted to create an Everyday is Mother's Day sweepstakes. The winner will receive 2 tickets to Hell's Kitchen, an exclusive prize pack, plush travel, and hotel stay. So, we want you to send us a video on social media at Hell's Kitchen, BWAY, Broadway, or a submission via email to nominate the one who inspires you. Is it your mother? Is it your mentor? Is it a special person in your life that really just brings you something that you want to uplift them and share it with the world? And you'll be able to submit that all the way through May 31st. And you can find our details on the Hell's Kitchen handle. And I definitely want you to be a part of this so that you can bring someone or tell someone who hasn't seen the show that they have an opportunity to have this special moment with their mother or their mentor.
TikTok, is that what you're asking them to do? TikTok,
Oh,
TikTok.
thank you. Great, look, TikTok, who is this mama? She's current. The beautiful woman asked me who did the choreography, and please let me tell you that Camille A. Brown did the choreography. And it really is spectacular. I mean, the way that she added so much of a character through dance, like the interpretations and the way that it truly brings the moment to fruition. I'll never forget when I first saw some of the ways that she was presented. I was mind blown. So I'm so happy you